You're watching ABC7 News at 7.
She's misrepresenting the Republican Party. She's putting a bad light on everything here locally.
Melissa Howard dropping out of the race for the State House after admitting she lied about getting her college degree. What can we expect in this race now? Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohen, and welcome to ABC7 at 7. It was less than a week ago when the political consultant working for Melissa Howard was calling the allegation she lied about getting her college degree fake news. Tonight, Howard is out of the race, acknowledging she made a terrible error in judgment. ABC7's Erica Jackson begins our coverage.
Republican State House candidate Melissa Howard has admitted she is a liar. And now that her pants have been set on fire, she has dropped out of the race.
She's putting a bad light on everything here locally.
It took a fabricated story about a trip to Ohio, a fake diploma, and a bogus Facebook post for Republican candidate Melissa Howard to drop out of the race for House District 73.
It's going to save the community and the Republican Party a lot of heartache moving forward.
Her announcement comes less than 24 hours after she said she was going to stay in the race, after claiming she flew to Ohio to obtain her diploma and transcripts, then admitting she never completed her degree.
Make sure you're only representing what's factual, because otherwise eventually we'll catch up to you.
Republican Party Chairman Joe Gruters says Tommy Gregory will automatically take the Republican seat in Florida's primary for the House District 73 race. The Supervisor of Elections Office can't change the pre-printed ballots, so any votes toward Howard will be nullified.
She really is in some serious trouble. She has to have known.
Now, former Manatee Republican Party Chairwoman Donna Hayes is calling for the state attorney's office to press charges against the Lakewood Ranch businesswoman.
She really is in some serious trouble. She has to have known.
Florida law states forging a college degree is a first-degree misdemeanor. We spoke with a criminal defense attorney who says Howard could face up to 1 year in jail, adding that's unlikely since she appears to have no prior criminal record. Even though Howard may have sacrificed her reputation, Gruder says the scandal won't hurt the Republican Party.
We have a great candidate in Tommy Gregory, and now we're going to be able to move forward and focus on that general election.
Howard has been going back and forth, deactivating and reactivating her campaign Facebook page. As of this evening, her Facebook is down, but her website is still up and running. Reporting in Sarasota County, Erica Jackson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
We'll have more on the Melissa Howard story in a moment, but first let's head over to ABC7's chief meteorologist Bob Harrigan with the first alert forecast. Bob.
We had a few showers and a few thunderstorms around earlier. Most of that action is over right now, and things are starting to change a little bit. Now, we want a good east wind to kind of blow out the bay with all the dead fish from the red tide, but we're not going to see that strong of a wind. It will be anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. Not strong enough to really flush out the bay, but high pressure had been positioned down to our south. This is going to move northward on Wednesday and eventually end up over north central Florida. This will change our wind out of the east-southeast throughout most of the day. Now, there will be a west coast sea breeze developing in the afternoon, which will allow for some convergence of some inland storms to progress toward the coast late in the afternoon and evening. Right now, some light rain lingering, just some clouds basically. We had some heavy weather from Northport through parts of Manatee County, mainly east of I-75, and then that has since moved on. One lone shower just off of Anna Maria. You can see that most of the heavy rainfall was to the east of the interstate, although there were a few showers that did pop up west. 1.8 estimate of rainfall right there near Northport. A little lesser amounts into Port Charlotte. 82 right now. We have some high clouds around, and it has cooled down a little bit because of the outflow from those storms into the eastern portion of our viewing area. East to northeast winds now at 6. That is the gust front that was associated with that rain, which cooled us down just a little bit. And again, winds anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour out of the east-southeast now as a result of those storms that were around earlier from Bee Ridge to Lakewood Ranch all the way down into Northport. It has cooled down there as well. We'll have much more on that coming up a little bit later. You also want to make sure that you download our ABC7 First Alert weather app. This is an excellent tool to have during the remainder of the hurricane season. So if you haven't done it already, do so. And we give you special advisories on that. All the alerts that come from the National Weather Service automatically are sent to your phone and alert you to the potential danger. Alan?
Thanks, Bob. 24 hours ago, we were sitting right here, stunned Melissa Howard finally owned up to her lying about graduating from Miami University of Ohio and forging that diploma she produced after being confronted with questions, but she vowed to stay in the race for her party's nomination. Today, after another day of humiliating national headlines and private hand-wringing of local Republican leaders, Howard announced she realized the right thing to do for the community is to withdraw from the race, acknowledging she made a terrible error in judgment. And joining us for more is the man who now wins the Republican nomination by default, Tommy Gregory, Liv Coleman, who will be facing Gregory this fall in the general election, Zach Anderson, who did terrific work on this story for the Herald Tribune, and joining us by Skype is Sarasota Republican Chair Joe Gruters. And Joe, I'm going to start with you. If you could tell us what went on in the last 24 hours that made Melissa Howard go from vowing to stay in the race to leaving it.
Yeah, well, Alan, I think over the last couple of days, I think the whole situation got worse and worse for Melissa, and I think finally it came to the culmination today where I think a couple of us got on the phone call with her consultant, Anthony Pedicini, and said that something probably needs to happen, and I think she did the right thing for the community. I think it's going to save the party and the community a lot of heartache. We could put this behind us now and focus on the general. We got a great general election candidate, and we're ready to win.
Joe, wasn't that obvious as of last Friday when the facts were out there and then the photographs came out and quickly the university said there was something not right there?
Listen, you always have to take everybody at their word, and once people realized what was going on and the enormous impact it actually had throughout the community. Obviously, this was nationwide news. This wasn't located just in Sarasota. This was all over the country, and I think what happened was it just became too much to overcome for Melissa. And like I said, I think it was ultimately her decision, and I think she did the right thing.
Zach, you talked to the same people I talked to about this. We knew that there were a lot of people in the Republican leadership that were, as I mentioned before, wringing their hands, caught in a very uncomfortable position to be in, and really kind of not liking the hands-off approach over the last few days.
Yeah, hand-wringing is a good way to describe it. Other words that I've used are embarrassing, national laughingstock. I think a lot of Republicans especially worried that this was really harming the party, harming the brand, and would hurt them going into the general election.
Tommy, you were locked in a very competitive, really heated contest with Melissa Howard to this point. What's your reaction tonight? And you got to say, congratulations on being the Republican nominee for State House.
Well, thank you, Alan. My reaction first is to note that I spoke to Melissa earlier today. She's apologized. You read what she posted online. She apologized to me personally for what she did and for the rancor that was, part of this campaign. And look, going forward, I wish Melissa the best. I think that she's done a lot of great things in the community, and she'll continue to do that in her nonprofit work.
And Liv, you've been an interesting observer of this process here. I'm wondering what your thought process has been over the last few days, because there was a possibility that Melissa Howard could still run and even win the Republican nomination, and then you would be locked in with her in terms of the general election. What was going through your mind?
Well, I had the same questions that many people had about honesty and integrity. I know that voters want somebody who's transparent about who they really are. But Melissa Howard, she stepped up. She came clean and admitted that the diploma was a forgery. And I applaud her for coming to clean in that way. And I think we can move forward now.
So, Joe, what kind of situation are Republicans in right now? I mean, we all know that this is going to be a challenging midterm for Republicans, given the national environment and the mood, and we're getting reminders every time we look at a special election in Ohio or Pennsylvania before that this was the last thing that you needed as your slate of candidates is trying to, including yourself, is trying to run in the fall.
Well, the good news is we got a slate of great candidates in Sarasota, and I think that Tommy Gregory is one of our best candidates. I think we're going to be ready. I think now, listen, this lifts the whole cloud off the entire party, because now we can focus on the issues. And I think that, Sarasota County, we've been blessed with phenomenal elected officials they've set the stage to where our local citizens continue to vote Republicans in. And with the slate that I think we're going to have come 2 weeks from now, I think we'll be ready, and I think we're going to win across the board. I don't think we'll lose a single seat here in Sarasota.
Sarah, Zach, is it as simple as that?
Well, it's interesting that Joe said this lifts a cloud off the party. I've heard some people sort of push back against the idea that she was kind of dragging down the whole ticket, but I heard a number of people say that they thought that she might drag down the ticket to some degree, and that every candidate would be asked about this, and do you support this? What do you think about her, lying, and do you think that this represents the Republican Party in a good light, and that this would just be an unflattering thing that every candidate would have to address? So I think the party is happy to have it off their back, so to speak, and that they think that they'll not have to deal with this in the general election. I think that there'll still be some questions. I think Joe will still continue to face some questions, and others in the party about sort of how they dealt with this. I heard some grumbling from people that the party should have gotten out in front of this a little bit sooner. But when you drop out of the race, it's sort of over and done with.
And Tommy, but you still have work to do in terms of getting the Republicans together, because this, up until now, it was a very hotly contested primary campaign, and I know, on the other hand, a lot of primaries are like that.
Sure. Now it's time to turn our attention to the general election, now that we know who the candidates will be. It's my job now to earn the trust of all the voters in District 73 and focus on the agenda. And for me, that means, ensuring that we're passing legislation in Tallahassee that increases our wage and job growth, invest in high-class schools, and really protects our quality of life.
And we're going to get to that R versus D debate in just a moment. We are just getting warmed up on the state representative candidate, Melissa Howard, dropping out of the race. We'll have much more after a quick break. Stay with us.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now.
All across America, there are kids going hungry. It sounds crazy, but it's real. It's also a problem we're fixing. Kids who rely on school meals need help in the summer. That means neighborhood meal sites that are easy to get to and free for every kid. When you make breakfast part of a school day, a lot more kids get the chance to eat. These programs work. Over the past few years, 1/3 fewer children in the United States are facing hunger. Let's make No Kid Hungry a reality.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, Visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Welcome back. We are talking about the withdrawal of Melissa Howard from the race for state representative, and joining us for more is the man who now wins the Republican nomination by default, Tommy Gregory, Liv Coleman, who will be facing Gregory this fall in the general election, Zach Anderson, who did a terrific job on this story for the Herald Tribune, and joining us by Skype is Sarasota Republican Chair Joe Gruters. And Joe, I know you wanted to respond to something that Zach said about a lot of rumblings from within the Republican Party, from folks who feel that that they're not too happy with how the party responded to these allegations in the early days.
Yes, you know, the party's role is, sorry, I got kids in the background here. The party's role ultimately is to not pick leaders in these primaries. And as hard as it is sometimes, much as people want us to go in and make a pick and make a decision, in this case, it's really difficult. But what you saw is you saw the Manatee Republican Party and the Sarasota Republican Party come together and basically say that we are going to continue to let the voters decide. That doesn't mean that we weren't trying to calm the situation down. Basically, what our job is to try to do the best job we can for all of our candidates. Whoever, once our nominee is selected, we take that nominee and we help them all the way to the general. But until then, we let these guys fight it out, and it's and I personally have trust in the system, because I think that even if Melissa would have continued on, Tommy would have crushed her in 2 weeks. And to me, there's no doubt about it, because I think the voters are smart, and I don't think that something like this could be overcome. And I think ultimately Melissa came to that conclusion and made the right decisions. And so now we're here with Tommy, who is a great candidate.
But Joe, let me push back about something. And I know that this is a primary and not a general election situation. But a couple of weeks ago, when Nick Guy liked something inappropriate on Facebook that actually referenced your wife, the party was really quick to demand that the Democrats disavow his campaign. But now we see a Republican candidate lie and basically forge a diploma, and there was no quick reaction in basically saying, we think this is wrong, she needs to get out.
Well, it was interesting that it come from Republicans and it came from Republicans this time. But I think when you looked at the leadership, I never made that call for Nick Guy to step down. And I don't think that the Democrat leader did either. And I don't think the Manatee leader did. Basically, most leaders of the parties try to be calm and collected during this campaign, because as we can see, there's huge ups and downs. It's like a giant roller coaster. It's the calm in the storm to keep people focused in on the general. Let these guys fight it out. Let them try to win. But at the end of the day, we're going to be ready to carry our flag for our nominee to victory.
Okay, we'll hear from the two remaining candidates for the State House, District 73, in a moment, right after we get a check on the first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Right now we're watching the Van Wezel webcam looking out over Sarasota Bay, the Ringling Bridge right there, and you can see a pretty nice afternoon, and then all of a sudden you'll see this line of clouds come in, a row cloud from some storms that were around earlier, not producing any rainfall here. We had a few brief showers west of I-75 as a result of that outflow boundary from some previous storms that were around, but most of that rain is over. We still have some light rain lingering, but not much. It's just about done. I think we'll see some redevelopment like we saw last night along the coast, say around midnight and maybe a little later. Showers and storms are possible, but that rain chance is very small. I mentioned some light rain still lingering. Most of it's moved on. Some showers well to the northwest of Anna Maria right now. Drier air just to the east of the state will kind of entrain in our overall flow as it becomes more east to southeasterly, and that would actually bring that drier air in. And so we're going to lower our rain chances over the upcoming days. Not so much tomorrow, still a chance for some inland storms. They're going to be in place on Thursday and Friday. Well, depicting a few coastal showers tonight, not necessarily they're going to be right there, but this would indicate there will be some instability in the atmosphere around midnight tonight, and we could hear some rumble of thunder, but the showers will be few and far between. They could produce some moderate to heavy rainfall at times. By wake-up time tomorrow and for the bus traffic, it looks to be okay. For dropping the kids off at school, should not be a big factor. 1 or 2 lone showers could be around. Notice these showers here starting to move from the southeast to the northwest. That's typical for Florida, and we're going to see a convergence set up along the west coast sea breeze, which will develop, let's say, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'll see a little bit more activity here pushing toward the coast late in the afternoon and evening, which cools us down a little bit. We haven't seen that in a while, and now it's 82 degrees. In fact, temperatures have cooled across the region as a result of the showers and storms, especially inland. It's 75 now in Arcadia. I've been missing these cooler temperatures as a result of that westerly wind. 80 in Venice now, 81 in Inglewood. The Gulf water temperature at 87 degrees. The heat index not really a factor. Speaking of winds, they'll stay basically out of the south and then change to the east by sunrise tomorrow and stay pretty much east to southeast throughout the day. And that, as I said, is a normal pattern for us during the summer months. And then it tries to develop that west coast sea breeze tomorrow. We may see some convergence setting up. Temperatures in some neighborhoods around town. Palmair had a nice rainbow. We'll be showing that picture a little bit later. 85 there now. Waterleaf at 80 degrees. The same at Laurel Oak for the most part. 81 degrees there. And Inglewood at 81. Look at Northport. 77. Plantation at 77. That's nice. After seeing temperatures today near 90 degrees. Currently it's 82 at the airport. East and northeast winds at 6. The pressure pretty high, 30.05. Our high today was 1 degree shy of the average of 89. 89 was the high, the average at 90. For boaters tomorrow, winds start from the southeast. A little bit of a switch late in the day as that sea breeze kicks in, a light chop. 7-day forecast then, 40% chance for mainly inland storms tomorrow. 1 or 2 will make it to the coast late in the afternoon. Our rain chances drop below seasonal averages right through the weekend for the most part. But these storms will be late in the day and in the afternoon and evening as opposed to the morning coastal showers that we've been pretty much familiar with all summer long. Alan will be right back after this.
According to a new survey by U.S. News & World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing DermaSuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. DermaSuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as DermaSuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the DermaSuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your DermaSuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301. Or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Welcome back. We're talking about the withdrawal of Melissa Howard from the race for state representative, and joining us for more is the man who now wins the Republican nomination, Tommy Gregory, Liv Coleman, who will be facing him this fall, Zach Anderson, who did a terrific job working on this story for the Herald Tribune, and by Skype, Sarasota Republican Chair Joe Gruters. Zach, let me start with you. Are the dynamics of this district different now because of the overall mood and what we hear about a possible blue wave? And does this complicate things for the Republicans?
We'll see. You know, this has historically been a very strongly GOP-leaning district. I mean, this is a district that Trump won by double digits. But obviously, Democrats are thinking that this year could be different. I think that's probably, you'd have to ask Liv, but I think that's one of the reasons that she might have gotten into the race is that, you know, there's a sense that here that even in some of these districts that Democrats could have a shot this year. Will this whole scandal change things? It's really hard to say.
Liv, let me give you an opportunity to talk about this. I mean, you're very well credentialed, University of Tampa. What brought you into this race? Why do you think this year is different than any other year?
I'm an educator from a family of educators, and I'm running to make Florida public schools #1. I talk to voters all across Manatee and Sarasota, and they're worried about their kids being on lockdown in schools and gun violence. They're worried about their schools getting a top-notch education. So I'm meeting voters every day, working hard across the district, and I can't wait, and I'd be honored to serve them in Tallahassee.
Okay. We're going to get to you, Tommy, in just a moment, but we have to take a quick break. Our conversation on the controversy surrounding Melissa Howard will continue after a quick break. Stay with us.
The Players Center invites you to explore the family dynamic in the classic story of On Golden Pond. The Tony Award-winning play opening August 9th is funny, thoughtful, and brutally honest. Call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. On Golden Pond is calling you.
The ABC7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC7 First Alert weather app today.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
A home can be much more than just a house. But for some of our neighbors, home means uncertainty and isolation. At Rebuilding Together, we turn houses into homes and revitalize our communities. Because a neighborhood is more than just houses and streets. It's familiar faces and open arms. Join the movement to ensure everyone can live in a safe home and community. Become a rebuilder today.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home
and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
You're watching ABC7 News at 7:30.
Welcome back. We are talking about the withdrawal of Melissa Howard from the race for state representative, and joining us for more is the man who now wins the Republican nomination, Tommy Gregory. Liv Coleman, who will be facing him this fall, Zach Anderson of the Herald Tribune, and joining us by Skype is Sarasota Republican Chair Joe Gruters. And Joe, I'm going to start with you. If you could explain briefly just the mechanics when a candidate leaves the race, what happens to those votes? Voting by mail is already out there. Do those votes just go away?
Yeah, what happens when a candidate leaves the race is all of a sudden ballot in favor of Melissa or Tommy in this case now gets thrown out, because now that Tommy is our nominee, we no longer have a primary, so no votes will ever even be reported or presented to anybody. Those votes are now invalid.
And, you know, there was discussion, and I know, I mean, this is academic now, but the incoming Speaker of the House was asked about this, that if Melissa Howard did in fact win the primary and win the general election, would the caucus have prevented her from being seated? Any insight into that?
Yeah, well, what would have happened? Like I said, sometimes not everybody sees everything that's going on. The most important thing was to try to do the primary, but also, you know, Republicans sometimes act a little bit clashier in terms of some of the times when we deal with some of our internal problems. We don't want to beat over the head sometimes for everybody. And in this case, we had a candidate that she exited the state community. Now our candidate can now her Democrat opponent in November with more controversy, more election, more money. He's going to win.
You know, Joe, you're breaking up there. Joe, you're breaking up just a little bit, but I think Zach had something to add to that.
To your point, I actually did some reporting on what could happen if the Republican caucus didn't want to seat her, and that is extremely rare, I learned, to expel somebody or not seat them. It's only happened once in the history of the Florida House, back in 1961, I was told, when a House member was actually accused of having indecent exchanges with a 12-year-old page, and he was expelled from the House. It's very, very rare for somebody to get expelled, so it was probably unlikely. Melissa Howard, even the people who are saying that this might be a crime, it looks like it would probably only be a misdemeanor if in fact they did move forward with it. And there's people who have gotten DUIs, other misdemeanor crimes, who are still in the legislature. So if she had won the primary and won the general election, she probably almost certainly would have been seated unless she was charged with a felony or something worse.
So now the two of you are running at a time when there is incredible cynicism about politics and about electoral politics, and frankly, the comments that I've read from our viewers on our Facebook page are saying they're all liars. And Tommy, you're running, you're running at a time, especially given what's happening in Washington and all the questions there, that people do not like politicians right now, and you are running in this may be a safe Republican district. We don't know that yet. We do know that there is a certain mood out there. How do you go about taking that on?
Well, I don't think it's a new phenomenon that people are cynical and distrusting of politicians, but I agree it is a high percentage now, and there's a lot of discussion of it. And that's why my focus is on earning all of their trust. And really, Alan, it's part of the reason I'm running, and that is because I believe we need to elect leaders that have the skills and the education and the experience to represent the constituents of District 73 in Southwest Florida with honor and integrity. And I've got 25 years doing just that, 25 years of experience in the Air Force, and 20 years in the Air Force and 5 years since then, working with and for general officers and CEOs and fighter pilots and astronauts in high-profile, high-pressure situations. So my resume demonstrates that I can be trusted.
Liv, let me ask you this. Are you planning to use what's happened over the last week going into the general election campaign, even though Melissa Howard is no longer running? And how do you appeal to voters in this district, which has a history of voting for Republican? How do you win back white middle-class voters who have aligned themselves, at least locally, with the Republican Party?
Well, for too long, the Florida State Legislature has been out of step with what people want, even here in this district. You know, I'm out there every day meeting voters, and I hear that they want better public schools. I'm an educator from a family of educators. I'm running to make Florida public schools #1. I'm here to fight for the environment, for clean water, and to keep our beautiful Florida beautiful. And I'm also running to make sure we've got affordable, accessible health care. These are things that voters all across the board, regardless of label, regardless of whether they're a Democrat or a Republican, this is what voters are, I'm hearing from them about what they want.
Let me ask you this. Over the last week, as this race has gotten a lot of state and national attention, have you been in communication with Democrats in Tallahassee who have become more interested in this race given what the opportunity might be because of the Howard situation?
Not really. I think people have just been aware of how sensitive this is, and because of the medical issues regarding Melissa Howard's husband, that I think people have just taken a step back and let kind of things play out. And so right now we're just looking to see where we're going forward, though.
Alan, can I just say something? I think you really hit the nail on the head in the sense of how this could impact the race going forward, and how Melissa Howard's whole scandal could impact the race going forward, and how cynical people are about politics, and how they think politicians are dishonest. And I think if anything, this could play into that, and if it affects the race, it could maybe depress turnout to some degree, where people just think that, well, you know, these people are all liars and I'm not going to even participate in this. And I don't know if who that helps or hurts, but I think that could be the impact going forward on this race.
Zach, actually, Joe, a brief word for you, because basically you're the boss. You are the Republican chair, and you also have skin in the game because you are running for Senate. And before this situation really came up, you know that this is not your ordinary midterm election, that there is a national mood out there. You have other candidates, including yourself, on the ballot that potentially could have been impacted if the Howard situation basically just depressed Republican voters out there.
And at the end of the day, the right thing happened. She stepped aside, and now we can focus on the general. In this race in particular, remember, this is my race that I'm vacating. It's a plus 28 district. Tommy Gregory is going to win this seat. He's a phenomenal candidate. And at the end of the day, candidates matter. And we have the perfect candidate in Tommy. We're excited to have him run on our ticket. And there's no question in my mind he'll be able to stay for victory come November.
Hey, Liv, you know, for better or for worse, the parties, both of them, pick winners and losers because there's limited money out there, there's limited resources. So the question is, given this opportunity right now, what are you doing differently to raise money in order to communicate the message you hope to get to voters this fall?
We're trying to get out and reach as many voters right here in Manatee and Sarasota as we can. We're trying to go to as many meet and greets to talk to voters. We're trying to make phone calls with phone banks. We're doing canvassing and door knocks. We're doing this as many days as we can every week.
And Tommy, the same thing goes with the Republicans. The Republican Party picks and chooses seats that they want to focus on. This may not have been on the radar because it was considered a safe Republican seat, but the damage has been done. Do you have to do things that you have not done up until this point in terms of raising massive amounts of money to make sure that you win?
No, and my success in fundraising, I think, demonstrates that the reason why we're not worried about a voter turnout, I don't think it's going to have any impact. If you look at my contributions, I think I'm over 200 now, and I'm most proud of the constant contributions I get in small amounts. You know, the flow of $10 checks or $25 checks. There are a lot of Republicans at every income level that are excited about my campaign and excited about races across the board.
Okay, we have to take another quick break, and we'll be back for final thoughts in a moment when we return.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Addiction is a dark place. But just as each new day breaks, there's light. A light that illuminates the people by your side. Out of the darkness, you are walking with 22 million others struggling with addiction. The cure to darkness is light. The cure to stigma is love, and the cure to disease is treatment. Join us as we walk into the dawn of a new day. Together, we are stronger than addiction. Learn more at chatterproof.org.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View, live at 9 on ABC7.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and Joey Panic on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the morning, watch Suncoast View, live at 9. Weekdays on ABC7.
The body, it is a work of art and a powerful ally in the fight against cancer. A new approach called immunotherapy works by helping our immune system correctly identify and eradicate many types of cancer cells. Speak with your doctor and visit su2c.org/immunotherapy to learn more. Your body might just be your greatest hope.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
And our guests join us right now for final thoughts. Quickly, Joe, lessons learned.
Well, the lesson learned is the Republican Party of Sarasota is as strong as ever. You know, to trust the system. That's what I want you to take away with tonight. You know, sometimes it doesn't things like we have control. It doesn't look like we have control, but ultimately things work out for the right reasons. And in this race, we have the right candidate running. In the general, Tommy Gregory is a phenomenal candidate, and he's going to win in November. We're glad to have him.
Joe, we know what Melissa's mistake was here, but did party leaders, you and your counterpart in Manatee County, make any mistakes over the last week?
No, because you don't always know what's going on behind the scenes. Our job is to keep people calm and to do the best job we can. So what we did is our job is not to engage in primaries, but to ensure that throughout this process things are smooth. And I think at the end of the day, we did the right thing. And a lot of things happen in the background that people don't always see. But I'm glad that Melissa stepped aside, and now we have a great candidate, Tommy, and we're going to win.
Zach, is that the general perception?
I've talked to a number of Republicans who think the party should have been more forceful to protect the brand. Joe's in a difficult situation, I mean, he's trying to referee this and not, put his finger on the scale. And, he has told me, this could be a slippery slope. Where do you draw the line in calling people to drop out of the race? But at some point, parties, they do get involved in things like that. We saw the Democratic Party locally get involved with Ed James. Now, that was a pretty big deal. He was accused of rape. I mean, that was a really big deal, but they came out forcefully and told him to get out of the race. So parties do get involved in these races. Where you draw the line, I mean, that's a subjective call, but I have heard people grumble about it.
Liv, this is your first opportunity to tell people why they should consider you this fall. This race has not gotten the kind of highlight that it's getting right now.
I'm an educator from a family of educators. I'm running to make Florida public schools #1. We need to keep our students safe in school. We need to make sure our tax dollars stay in the public school system and they don't get diverted to for-profit charter schools. And we need to make sure that our teachers and our kids get the resources and infrastructure they need.
Tommy, what do you think you need to do differently now, given the way this primary ended up, that you might not have had to do should you have won this primary straight up?
I don't think it changes anything, Alan. I think at the end of the primary, whether it ended now or on August 28th, you know, we'll turn our attention to, frankly, Liv and I have a lot of the same goals. Like many things that are debated between conservatives and liberals, we have the same goals: to ensure we have world-class education, to ensure we protect our quality of life. These are things that are part of our agenda. The difference is whether or not you believe big government is the key to prosperity, or like I do believe that individuals and working families are the way to success and prosperity and liberty.
Okay, Zach, I think this is going to be an interesting election.
It already has been, and you know, as we go along here, I'm sure there will be plenty of more sensational stories.
Okay, we have to leave it there. But before we go, we want to share with you what some of the viewers are saying when we broke this story on Facebook Live earlier today. Just a reminder. The story of Howard not having her college degree first came out. Howard's political consultant called it fake news. Here's what some of you were saying when the news broke. Macy says it was her intent to deceive. She got caught. She's not even a good liar. The only thing fake was her diploma. Linda says all politicians start out with good intentions but get caught up in the environment of corruption. It takes a very strong politician to keep their conscience clean. I hope some of our new politicians stay straight. And John says, oh yeah, let's let the news channels break down what happened. The lady lied. What is there to break down? Media equals scum of the earth. Wow, John, looks like you're the member of the media is the enemy of the people club. Well, it was good hard-nosed journalism that uncovered this story, John, the same kind of good hard-nosed journalism done every day here on the Suncoast and in Washington, D.C. these days. If you'd like to join the conversation on tonight's topic, just visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/mysuncoast. We want to thank our guests for being here tonight. Tommy Gregory, Liv Coleman, who will be facing Gregory this fall in the general election, Zach Anderson of the Herald Tribune, and joining us by Skype, Republican Chair Joe Gruters for joining us tonight. When we return, ABC7's consumer watchdog Jerry Zivick is here to talk about how health insurers use data about us that can raise our rates. Stay with us. But right now, let's get a final check on our first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob.
Double rainbow tonight. A lot of folks sending photos in too, Alan. Get a look at this one from Palm Air. Judy snapping this photo in. You can just see the second one right there. Not as visible, but spectacular. Again, I just saw one just now stepping outside of our ABC7 studios located in downtown Sarasota. This is looking out over Sarasota Bay. You can see fairly calm conditions out. Well, it was, you saw a little rainbow there briefly, but generally fair conditions out there in the waters. And it doesn't appear that we're going to have a great sunset tonight. There are some clouds off in the distance right now, and it will inhibit a spectacular sunset. High pressure now to the south and west of us is going to shift to the north, and that is going to give us a shift in the timing of our storms. Afternoon and evening thunderstorms will be back, but not a lot because of the drier air that has slipped in and will continue to do so. Live sweep of the radar, all the rain that we had earlier today, mainly east of I-75, is gone now. That dry air I mentioned is all kind of bottled up east of the Bahamas. It is working in our general direction around that area of high pressure in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. You can see that clockwise circulation with that as it drifts off to the west. That trough over the southeast United States is going to get out of here, and that will allow the surface high to gain strength over north central Florida, which will bring some storms our way in the afternoon and evening. Now, the 1 a.m. forecast calling for a few spotty showers possible along the coast there, but not much to start things off in the morning, and then we'll see showers popping up in the interior portions of our viewing area just after noon, and then eventually sliding in toward the west coast. Late in the day, say 4 or 5 o'clock, we could see a few scattered storms near the coast. Temperatures have cooled as a result of the rain. Even in Orlando now, it's 78, 83 in Jacksonville, 82 now in Sarasota, and 86 now in Miami, 88 degrees in Key West. Temperatures across the region is really nice in Northport, 77 degrees there. Inglewood pretty much the same, as well as Venice, 83, and Sarasota, the Gulf water temperature now at 87 degrees. The wind will be out of the east-southeast to start the day off tomorrow. Not very strong. We need a good 15 to 20 mile-an-hour wind to really clean those canals out, as well as the eastern portion of the Sarasota Bay. And a lot of dead fish still in the bay right now, and still the red tide is around. Patchy again from Lee County northward all the way into Pinellas. Temperatures, again, as I said, 78 now in Orlando. Currently, it's generally fair. We have some clouds around, 82 degrees at the airport, and the pressure 30.05 inches. The forecast is calling for tomorrow the heat index up into the upper 90s to near 100 degrees in the afternoon. We'll see generally sunny to partly cloudy skies throughout the day, and it looks like low temperatures will once again be in the upper 70s to start the morning off tomorrow. Southeast winds for boaters turn to the southwest with a light chop out there. And as far as the 7-day forecast goes, well, here's a look of it. 40% chance for mainly inland storms tomorrow, 30% chance for scattered showers coming back toward the coast in the afternoon and evening on Thursday. Friday and Saturday, only 20% as that dry air really moves in, and temperatures will be in the mid to upper 70s. Alan will be right back after this.
According to Golf Digest, 2 of the nation's top golf resorts are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, the Auburn Opelika Marriott at Grand National, and the Renaissance Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa in Birmingham. Plus, the Marriott at Grand National was recognized as Hotel of the Year by Marriott International. Experience luxury and world-class golf Southern style. Visit rtjgolf/resorts or call 800-949-4444 to book your trip to the trail.
More energy?
Patty, what would you do if you had more energy?
Gosh. More energy? I'd probably be a happier guy. I wouldn't be so surly.
If I'd exercise more, I'd have a lot more fun.
Salsa dancing.
You get a lot more done during the day.
Take piano lessons.
I can be better to other people.
Energy equals happiness.
The potential for greater energy is already inside of you. Now you can make the most of it with Super Beets from Human.
What is this? Is it a superfood?
Concentrated beet crystals.
It's non-GMO, which makes me super happy.
It passes the test. A+.
It starts with one of the healthiest vegetables for your heart, beets.
They're in here and I can just drink them.
Beets, probably the worst vegetable in the world.
I love beets.
Super Beets concentrates an essential nutrient found in beets to promote heart-healthy energy.
It's really yummy.
Shockingly not bad.
Well, that's good.
3 beets in here? Oh my gosh.
Super Beets helps increase circulation, supports healthy blood pressure, and gets more oxygen flowing throughout your body naturally, which means more healthy energy to make the most of your day.
Dance more often, maybe.
Find out how to get a free canister with your first order, plus bonus gifts.
Call 1-800-201-6681 or go to buysuperbeets.com.
I could definitely use a little more energy, especially if it's from a natural source like beets.
That even tastes good.
I'll finish this, by the way. I really like it.
Call now and find out how to get a free canister with your first order, plus free indicator strips that show how it's working. This offer isn't in stores, but we'll ship it free right to your door.
Feel strong and you feel healthy and you feel like you can accomplish anything.
Find your energy.
Call 1-800-201-6681 or go to buysuperbeets.com.
I would for sure drink this.
Super Beets from Human.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. You can recover. It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
I thought I was too far gone. I wasn't.
Join the Voices for Recovery. The world is a beautiful place again. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral for mental and substance use disorders for you or someone you know, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Welcome back. The health insurance industry has joined forces with data brokers to vacuum up personal details about hundreds of millions of Americans, including odds are many of our viewers right now have also had data collected. So what does this all mean? Lucky for us, we have ABC7's consumer watchdog Jerry Zivick here. And Jerry, you wrote something that should scare the daylights out of everybody who is watching this right now. The health insurance companies are tracking race, education level, TV habits, marital status, net worth. They are collecting viewer posts on social media where an individual is behind on their bills and what you order online. What does this have to do whether or not you get health insurance?
Well, that's the scary part about all this. There's one thing to collect data that are known as health points, whether or not we've had a disease or broken a bone or had some sort of illness. But this is inferred data. They're creating algorithms based upon the fact that your name has changed. So you're either getting a divorce or you're getting married. So if you're getting divorced, they're going to infer you might be nervous and need mental health services. If you're getting married, you might need pregnancy services, and they're going to raise your rates.
Where are they getting this data from?
They're getting it there's no privacy anymore. How many times have we talked endlessly? Wherever you go, our mobile devices are tracking us, or not, we're buying something online that's being tracked and stored. There's absolutely no privacy for us.
And how can this affect your insurance rates?
They will go up. I can't think of a time in the last 30 years that health insurance has ever gone down.
And who in our beloved government is watching over this and trying to rein in the health insurance companies in terms of using this data in this kind of way?
Well, there's only one state that's done anything to rein in the use of data, to my knowledge, and that's the state of California. If we were in Europe, though, our privacy would be protected much more greatly than it is in the United States.
What about the federal government?
The federal Congress seems very uninterested in doing anything to protect our privacy.
Now, is that a partisan thing, or on the other hand, in other things that Congress has taken on, like the Patriot Act and so forth, I thought there was an increasing interest in Congress to reining in what the government can and cannot do in terms of privacy?
For some reason, there's absolutely no incentive at all for Congress to protect our privacy. In Europe, you go online, your internet history can get wiped out. Here, our internet history stays forever.
30 seconds left. Is there anything you can do?
Well, actually, there's not a lot you could do. You could, I was joking with my spouse, you could maybe play a game. You could leave your television on Netflix and watch videos of exercise classes, order a magazine subscription for a bicycle magazine or marathon so they think you're really healthy.
Jerry, thank you very much. That is all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohn. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.